Dear friends, I am going to introduce a new book titled Golden Wings, authored by Poet M.S.GNANANANDam, which is going to be released very shortly in Kolar Gold Fields. As an educationist and author of 5 books to my credit, I have been given an opportunity to give an introductory note about the book Golden Wings. I quote the introductory note given by me as it is for the benefit of the viewers. The author of this book titled Golden Wings, M.S.GNANANANDam, has already contributed to the Tamil literary world 2 books, namely நெஞ்சில் நின்ற நினைவுகள் Memories Stuck in the Art 2017 and பொன் வயலின் பொற்காலம் Golden Period of Goldfields 2023. To be honest, I was immensely gained a treasure of experiences, wisdoms, etc., all by going through the golden works of M.S.GNANANANDam about Kolar Goldfields, popularly known as KGF, wherein his mind and art surrounded for half a century and still revolves around his dream world KGF. Even at the age of nearing 80 years and the end of result is contributions of these works for the younger generations to know about their ancestors and the hitherto untold stories, pains, sufferings to be unearthed from minds shaped pure as gold. To be honestly speaking, one has to admit that an American literary critic, T.S. Eliot, who had shattered all orthodoxies and new ones, had once said, "Only those who will risk going too far possibly find out a dream to become it a reality." These words of T.S. Eliot is absolutely fitted to M.S.GNANANANDam, whose venture in writing these masterpieces of literary works at this ripe age and partially visually challenged situation, even an able and dynamic person with no physical infirmities dare to attempt by the author of the book Golden Wings has done it with full of vigor and strength by the treasure of knowledge and wisdom he has gained, helped him to write it in a simple language but powerful in its reality and authenticity to the core. Quite naturally, his graduation in a reputed Institute of Higher Learning, St. Joseph Stephen's College in Bangalore, and oppressed marginalized peoples has given him immense strength and moral courage to portray and narrate his thought process not only lucidly but also realistically. The book Golden Wings is a combination of both poems on different issues and different headings and text exclusively confined to his dream and real world, Kolar Goldfields and its birth and death and everything in between since his childhood to this moment. As an ardent writer, translator, human rights activist, I am honored and privileged to critically analyze these books for the benefit of their readers to arrive a holistic understanding by citing just a few things. At this given point of political climate in India wherein RSS ideology is the elm of affairs, which spreads its wing throughout the length and breadth of the country, the venom of hatred towards fellow human beings, Muslims, Christians, and Dalits in the name of religion and caste. But the author, under the heading The Flow of Love, believes in love, which is centric of this universe and human race. This book answers great significance, that is, love is the source of life. Life without love is a waste. Love is the heart and soul of man. Soulless man is nobody. This poem resonates with Karl Marx, who wrote in 1844. Religious suffering is at one and the same time the expression of real suffering and a protest against suffering. Religion is the sigh of the oppressed creature, the art of the artless world, and the soul of soulless conditions. It is the opium of the people. And it is oft mentioned here in the famous quotation of Baba Saheb B.R. Ambedkar and the fraternity. On similar lines, I like the religion which teaches liberty, equality, and fraternity. Again and again, the author emphasizes on love, and it is reflected under the heading The Golden Wings, that is, love is a reality, living is a morality, helping is a humanity, everyone is a divinity. If these words reflected in the above versions are realized by cutting across caste, religion, creed, race, gender, and national boundaries, etc., the entire human race will live in peace and harmony as enshrined in the preamble of the Indian Constitution and Universal Declaration of Human Rights duly passed by the United Nations General Assembly in 1948. The UDHR 1948 is a universal document endorsed by 193 countries, cutting across all barriers and boundaries. The question posed by the author under the caption, "My dear KGF," highlights the glorious past and full of KGF and ruinage and exploitation of its people, wealth and health have been critically analyzed in these words. KGF, oh my dear KGF, you gave gold to the whole world. Where is the gold? Where is the jewels? Who has stolen your wealth while we lost our health? What is disturbing is this. The producers of gold, the mining workers in Kolar gold fields, had never been allowed to take or retain gold as salt of the earth in return of their hard-oriented labor towards it. It is not only an irony, but also a great tragedy that the so-called civilized world shall answer to the question posed by Poet M.S.GNANANANDAM. The second part of the book, which is in text form, traces the origin of gold in its historical perspective and the establishment of Kolar gold fields since the 19th century to this century, with full of data and statistics which have been collected from various sources of information by his hard labor, but illustrated everything in a sense of not going any pain to read this book as an interesting one. If one has to understand the history of KGF and the sufferings and the sorrows of mining workers and their livelihoods, one has to definitely go through this book, either for research purpose or for knowing about their ancestors and its unhidden history for the outside world, which has never witnessed so far. To conclude, I finally recommend to the readers to read this book at least once and keep this book in everyone's private library in their homes for the future generations to know about their past cultures and untold stories. From the bottom of my heart, I wish and congratulate the author of this book to venture into such endeavors to do more so for the benefit of a younger generation to understand the past, the present, and the future, so as to live as a universal person with utmost unity and comity and live peacefully and harmoniously in these words. Hence, the viewers are requested to purchase the book authored by M.S.GNANANANDAM, that is titled Golden Wings. Thank you so much.